My mother-in-law told my family I was a mistake that should have died in a fire, and at our anniversary party, my husband stood up and thanked her for it. I'd been married to him for 10 years. You'd think I'd be numb by now. I wasn't. I still felt that same cold drop in my stomach every time his mother looked at the scars on the left side of my face and neck like they were a personal insult. That night, I was hugging my cousin near the bar when I heard her voice behind me, loud enough for half the room. God, it still makes me sick to look at her. I turned. She smiled like she'd just complimented the cake. She drifted closer, eyes on my scars. Some women should be grateful no one put them down. I swallowed it. I always did. I didn't want a scene on our anniversary. An hour later, I spotted her by the gift table, cornering my aunt. My aunt's hands were frozen mid-wrap, like she didn't know what to do with them. I thank God every day her womb is as ruined as her face, my mother-in-law said, laughing under her breath. Can you imagine that thing being the mother of my grandchildren? Some people just shouldn't be allowed to reproduce. My aunt went pale, still silent. That silence felt like a second slap. Before dinner, his mother grabbed my wrist and yanked me close. Her nails dug in. I found a surgeon who fixes monsters like you, she whispered. I'll pay for it. Call it my gift to my son, since he's too soft to admit he's disgusted every time he has to touch you. I tried to pull away. She held tighter. You trapped him with guilt, she hissed. We both know he stays out of pity. Give him a way out. When my husband found me, I showed him the red marks on my wrist and told him everything. His jaw locked so hard I saw the vein jump in his temple. I'm ending this tonight, he said. Please, I begged. Not in front of everyone. He nodded, but his eyes didn't. Something had shifted. Dinner came. He barely ate. His mother kept watching us with a satisfied little smirk, like she'd already won. Then someone called for toasts. She practically ran to the front, beaming like she was accepting an award. She talked about sacrifice, about marriage, about knowing your worth, and then she looked straight at me. My son has always been weak, she said, voice turning sharp, always bringing home broken things he felt sorry for. Stray dogs, wounded birds, and now this. She pointed at me like I was trash on her shoe. When you bring damaged goods into your family, you're not being noble, you're being pathetic. She let that hang. Then she shrugged, like it was all so reasonable. And when those damaged goods can't even give you children because her body is too mangled to carry one, her smile widened. At some point, you cut your losses. My throat closed. The room went dead quiet. At some point, she finished, you admit you wasted your life on a mistake that should have died in that fire. I heard a chair scrape. Then my husband stood up. He was smiling, wide, warm, like she just handed him a gift. Thank you, Mom, he said. Really? Her smile flickered. He faced the room. My wife got these scars when she was 11, he said. Her house caught fire in the middle of the night. She made it outside safe. He paused. The silence was heavy. Then she heard her 4-year-old brother screaming upstairs. He looked at me for half a second, then back at everyone, so she ran back in. It played out like slow motion. She ran into smoke she couldn't breathe. Then she followed his crying through heat and cracking wood. Next, she found him in his room and lifted him like he was air. Then the hallway buckled and the ceiling started falling, so she threw her body over his, and she stayed there until someone dragged them out. My husband pointed across the room. That's her brother, he said. My little brother, now a grown man, stood up, tears on his face, nodding like he couldn't even speak. My husband's voice dropped. Mom, I don't think you would have gone back in. I know I wouldn't have been brave enough. He looked at his mother like she was something small and sad. Every scar on her body is proof she's more of a woman than you'll ever be. For a beat, nobody moved. Then the clapping started. It spread fast. People stood. My aunt finally exhaled like she'd been holding her breath for years. My mother-in-law's face went paper white. My husband walked over, leaned down, and whispered something into her ear. I didn't hear it, but I watched her shoulders drop, and for the first time in 10 years, she couldn't look at me.